The following segment is sponsored by Daniel A. White and Associates and does not necessarily reflect the views of this station or Forever Media Incorporated.
But it should.
Rick Jensen on 1150 AM, 1017 FM, WDEL.
Yeah, I got that in there. Well, I've been a client of Dan White and Associates for many, many, many years. They specialize in retirement income planning. So a lot's going on. A lot changed during the great shutdown, the lockdown of 2020, changes in IRA rules and things like that. Dan Simon's on the phone. Dan's in the Middletown office of Dan White and Associates. I got two offices, one in Middletown and one in Chatsford, just over the state line there in PA. You can always get them at 888-690-8820, 888-690-8820 if you have any questions at all. Dan, how you doing, buddy? I thought I had him on the phone. Maybe I did something wrong. Dan, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was
here.
It was Randy. Right, Randy?
It was me.
It was always Randy. That's what he gets
Certainly
paid.
wasn't our fault, right?
That's what he gets paid for. No matter what goes wrong, we blame Randy. So a couple of things of note. This is a very interesting time in which we're living. And here in Delaware, as you're probably aware, there are debates going on right now regarding physician-assisted suicide. So, the politics aside from that, in your industry, I bet this is going to be something of a conundrum. I mean, as I understand, the first 2 years of life insurance policy, if someone dies from suicide, it's a contestable period, things like that. How does that work out in normal life when it comes to life insurance?
So in normal life, as you mentioned, there is a 2-year contestability period, which, in most cases does apply to, self-inflicted death, meaning suicide. After 2 years, that does go away. Now, from some of the research that I've done, some of the things that I've read, I believe currently at this point, Oregon, Washington, and Vermont are the 3 states that have essentially applied the Death with Dignity Act, meaning physicians-assisted death. And from my understanding, the incontestability period still applies for 2 years, but after that, life insurance proceeds should pay out. Now, as always, I encourage people to read the fine print. Life insurance contracts are rather detailed, but from my understanding is it should pay out.
And interesting, because let's say somebody has a terminal disease and they choose physician-assisted suicide. In addition to that, for their final expenses or something else, they choose one of these life insurance policies, these whole life insurance policies, where there's no medical exam, anything like that. They answer the questions either correctly or they lie or whatever. And within the first 2 years, they likely wouldn't even get paid out then.
Correct. In the first 2 years, they likely would not, especially if they knew they were sick and did not disclose that. Then the underwriting policy, the underwriting process usually would catch something like that.
It would be very unusual, I think, for someone to buy one of these policies and then all of a sudden, oops, terminally ill, and then have that occur within the first 2 years.
Yeah, typically, I mean, that's why the window is the length it is. So, in most cases, if it's beyond 2 years, the proceeds should pay out. If it's within 2 years, it's certainly going to be subject to investigations by the insurance company that underwrote the policy.
Why do you find yourself using the word should? I mean, you're a professional in the business. You've seen a lot of things happen in this industry, too. And I notice you use the word should. Consumers, we want guarantees, and I'm just wondering, what is it about your professionalism in this industry that causes you to use the word should?
Well, there's ambiguity in some instances. So I don't want to clarify whether it's a yes or no answer, but more likely than not, Rick, I believe that would be the case. Again, within 2 years, there's going to be an investigation. After 2 years, the likelihood is that the proceeds would be payable to beneficiaries.
Okay. Appreciate that. Throughout the lockdown, there are all sorts of changes and rules about rollovers and whether or not you had to take distributions from an inherited IRA and things like that. And now I see this email from you. One IRA rollover per year. What?
Correct. One IRA rollover. So what they're referring to here is essentially it applies to what's called the 60-day IRA rollover rule, meaning that 90% of the time from what I see is when someone rolls over an IRA or a 401k to an IRA, it's going direct from custodian to custodian, meaning, for example, if the account was at, let's just say TD Ameritrade, for example, they rolled it over to Vanguard, for example.
Yeah.
That's not an issue. You can do as many of those as you want. The problem lies when someone rolls the money directly to themselves, meaning they cashed out the IRA, they sent the check to their checking account. They now have a 60-day window to get those funds back into an IRA, or they're subjecting themselves to income tax because it's obviously taxable money. It's never been taxed before. So the rule now applies that if they're going to do a 60-day rollover, they essentially now have a 12-month window to accomplish, they have a 12-month window where they can only do one. So, for example, if someone had, let's just say, $250,000, they took a single withdrawal, the check was made payable to themselves, they have 60 days to get that money back into an IRA or else it's taxable to them. They can only do one of those in a 12-month period of time, and it's not a calendar year. So it's really important to recognize now that it's a 12-month window that they have to get to do one of those rollovers. If they do more than one of those within a 12-month window, it's not going to apply, and the second distribution would be considered taxable to them.
Yeah, I always thought that was a dopey idea. When I did a rollover from a 401k into an IRA, and I've done that, a couple of times early in my career, maybe more than once or twice, Yeah. But that's never been a problem if it goes from institution to institution. It's when someone does something dopey like they get the check themselves. That scares me. That's like hot potato to me. I don't want that check. No, that goes to the institution. Otherwise, I'm going to get nailed. I could lose 50% of my money because of taxes and fees.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. And, I think some people were trying to, slip the rules a little bit, maybe get the money out, use it for something, invest and make a quick buck or two, and then get it back in.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to cash to make some quick turnaround money somehow. Yeah. Good luck flipping that house in 60 days. All right. So, but now during the Great Resignation, I'm wondering how this would apply. Just follow me for a second here. We have the Great Resignation. Someone will get a job. They hate the job. They quit. Mm-hmm. And then they're out in the street for a while. They find another job. They like the job. They go like, you're a jerk too. I quit. And some people have done this like 2 or 3 times in a year. Now, someone does this 2 or 3 times a year. They've got maybe they've got money left in a 401k, and they transfer it. That's never going to be a problem. The problem isn't even if you take the IRA, the 401k, and put it into the IRA, and it goes institution to institution. That's never a problem. The only problem you're saying is if someone makes a check out to themselves from whatever qualified account it is.
Correct. Yeah,
okay,
exactly right. Now, here's another example. So if it's one deposit, right, meaning it comes out of the account, single deposit, and, at that point, if they wanted to, they could choose to, essentially put the money in 5 different accounts, 5 different custodians, 5 different IRA accounts. That's permitted, right? But what they can't do is, to your point there, if they had 5 different employers and 5 different 401k plans, they can't roll those out, put them in their checking account, and then roll them all back into an IRA within the 60-day window. They can only do one of those in 12 months.
Interesting. By the way, one more thing, getting back to physician-assisted suicide. I had heard something being done a few years ago from somebody else in the industry, and I wonder if this even makes monetary sense. Guy discovered he has a terminal illness, and prognosis is you're gone within a year or 2. Sure. Obviously cannot buy life insurance. However,
99% of the time, correct.
Yeah, right. Because they know that you're going to die. What he did was he bought an expensive car, like a Porsche, and he bought credit life insurance on that vehicle. And of course, as the balance of the loan decreases, the amount of credit life insurance decreases too. He died, and wife got the money.
Should keep the car.
I think so. You ever hear of such a thing?
No, I haven't. I mean, it's an interesting way to go about things. I mean, everybody's always trying to figure out a way to skate the rules, I guess.
Yeah, work the system.
And again, it's the importance of if you're into buying life insurance, buying it when you're young and healthy, when insurability is there and the cost is lower than it would be later on in life.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you ever heard of such a thing.
I haven't, but you learn something new every day, Rick.
I don't even know. Like I said, I don't even know if we just learned anything new. It was something this guy told me, and I thought that's really weird. Let's have another beer. All right. Dan Simon, Dan White and Associates, specializing in retirement income. Give them a call at 888-690-8820, 888-690-8820. I'd love to talk with you about your problems, your challenges, things like that. And on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. here on WDEL, Dan White, are you on the show on Sunday too, Dan?
I'm not. I believe Dan's doing that one solo, but I know he's going to be talking about the risks of retiring at the wrong time. So I'm sure Dan will have a lot of great insight as to, tying Social Security into that, whether it's leveraging retirement assets and, talking about building out income for folks in retirement. That's what we focus on.
I have a friend who did that, and now he regrets it. And I asked, well, who'd you talk to? He goes, yeah, I know. I said, "Oh, who'd you talk to?" Yeah, I know. I'm not kidding. And he took it at right around 65, something like that. And he said, he's a bit older. And anyway, have fewer.
Social Security is a personalized decision. There's no one size fits all answer for that one. So
no, that's true.
Into account a lot of different things.
And that's why guys like you study the stuff, and the rest of us don't even want to. So
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good thing you're trustworthy. Thank you. Dan Simon of Dan White and Associates. Give him a call. Take care, buddy. Be well. Thank you.
All right, Rick. Always a pleasure.